really have much to offer. You try to divide people based on tribes and primordial leans.
But if you plan to unify, Lagos, do you feel conflicted, or do you feel that you'll be unable to, since you don't speak the language?
Not at all. Lagos is a cosmopolitan state, and the fact of the matter is not as though I don't understand Yoruba or I cannot speak it. My intonations are funny. People laugh at me, and I don't think in Yoruba, right? I went to school at MIT. I went to school in Nottingham. I went to school in France. I went to school. So there's been a lot.
Hi, I'm a Nigerian. H factor. I'm from a nation with many cultures, forming one Nigerian culture. This is our heritage, and it's an heritage we all love. An heritage so deep and so vast. You see, this Irukere is my culture. This Akupe is my culture. This Odi Okike is my culture. This is Siagu is my culture. This Ashoke is my culture. This Filabetiaja is my culture. This Ozo Cap is my culture. This Ula is my culture. This is an heritage we very much share. The one we share with one another. And this is an heritage that we all must respect and preserve. The watchword here is respect. We have a Yoruba man by the name of Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour who has never respected that heritage. He thinks he qualifies to rule in Lagos, Nigeria, by being the son of a man. No, my friend, your father does not qualify you to lead a Nigerian state. You have to be a son of the soil in order to lead a Nigerian state. And obviously, you are not that. In life and in everything else that you do, you must prepare for what you want. So, your choice not to learn to speak Yoruba, the Nigerian language, is one that you made consciously. This is your 5th election. You contested in Lagos, and never have you cared to learn the language. You see, this simple fact tells a story about your life. You've had 40 years to learn this language and speak it fluently. Your unwillingness to learn the language, it shows a total disregard for our shared Nigerian heritage. You find it distasteful, beneath you. I know your type. You are one of those who make fun of people who call them speaking in their indigenous tongue. You feel you are fresh or more butter. Don't take my words for it. Take his own. This man had the audacity to say on Channels TV that and I quote, "I don't think in Yoruba, right? I went to school in MIT. I went to school in Nottingham. I went to school in France. I went to school." So because your parents have the money to pay your school fees, you think you are better than us? You think we are beneath you? The Yoruba thinking is too lowly for you. That is why you consider your deficiency, your inability to speak Yoruba, a primordial sentiment. It is a thing of the past. Something before modernization. That's to you. Yoruba is a thing of the past. We should move past it. Well, we are not ready to. And since you don't think in Yoruba, why not go and lead MIT that you think in, right? Why don't you go and rule in Nottingham that you think in, right? Why don't you go and rule in France that you think in, right? I bet you speak French, don't you? That one is not beneath you, right? You call yourself the epitome of cosmopolitan Lagos, but no, my friend, you are wrong. You are the of cosmopolitan Lagos because you are trying to its fabric to shreds. Come on. Modern Lagos is Lagos where Amaka, where Basi, Yusuf, Ogeneru, Kewe, Ikechukwu live in Lagos, are from Lagos, embrace Lagos, speaks and think in the language of Lagos, which is Yoruba. And a lot of them have already been elected into public office in Lagos. Nigeria is not the only multilingual country. I mean, you can go to Canada. You can't be the premier of Quebec, which is a French-speaking province, without speaking French. It is in their laws. You can't be the leader of the French-speaking, the Dutch-speaking, or German-speaking parts of Belgium without speaking French, Dutch, or German, respectively. It is in their laws. Do we ourselves that much that we want to install this joke of a grandiose vermin calling himself GRV into power in Lagos? Is that why we want to cut our nose to spite our face? Because we don't like our heritage? Are we still shrouded by what Fela described as colonial mentality? Are we in the colonial era? Because that was the last time a man that didn't speak the language ruled over the people. Because someone who does not think in your language, who looks down on you, will enslave you if you give him the power to rule over you. It's common sense. Even Fela said it, who be government teacher, culture and tradition. So don't let us lose our culture, our tradition. Like Nai said, Ashawa, Edewa, Kusong, Todato. I mean, this man is asking for the constitutional power to dethrone the Oba of Lagos, because that is what he will be able to do as a governor. And he does not think in the Oba's language. Come on. That's wrong. No. Don't let this who calls himself the architect of Lagos but cannot show you a 2-bedroom flat that is single-handedly designed. Don't let this man smell Alausa. The you do in 4 years will take 40 years to repair. I mean, he said he wants to cancel Fort Mainland Bridge. He's calling it a white elephant project. He wants to have a governor's office in different regions, and then he will be rotating and going from one place to the other. I mean, be here today, be here tomorrow. Does he even know what it takes to run a post office, let alone a council office, not to talk of even the governor's office? He wants to open up BRT lane. Just. And this is an indictment on all Nigerian parents raising Nigerian kids who can't speak Yoruba, because they think the language is primordial. This is an indictment on my own sister who is raising Nigerian children in Yoruba land and fails to speak Yoruba to them. This is an indictment on my own cousin who chose to speak only English despite the fact that his parents always speak Yoruba to them. I mean, if you don't learn the language, you don't belong in public office. And since Gbadebo doesn't think in Yoruba, and chose not to speak Yoruba, then he doesn't qualify to be the governor of Lagos. And since his dad never cared to teach him the language, he does not deserve